Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm your host, Eddie Walker, the pusher, the growth, the motivator. Appreciate you guys for being here. Again, welcome to the Brothers of Legacy. Let me see, make sure we are bumping through the microphone. There we go. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I thank you guys for being here and being a part of all that we do Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, again, I appreciate you guys for being here. Um, Thank you for always being a part of what we do. And thank you for sharing because sharing is caring. Let's see if that works. Probably not. Um, and we appreciate you guys. Make sure you share. Join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Today, I might be rocking solo. My brothers are busy this morning. So let's say good morning to Mama McCoy. Great morning to you. Uh, Lisa in the building. Good morning, Lisa. Uh, all I want to know, all I want to say is I never had a short man complex, but I feel like I'm developing one. I don't want to meet nobody else live. Anybody that's on there, I don't want to meet none of y'all. None. Zero. Nobody else. Because Lisa was a lot taller than I expected. At least for maybe a little no. So yeah. That's all I'm saying. Good to see you though. Good to see you live Saturday. Hey, Aunt Sam, good morning. You said good morning. Brothers, may you they be blessed and filled with lots of love. Yes, Lisa. Um, I was like, I can't believe Lisa's that tall. I was like, that is not Lisa. All right. And then Dr. Thomas, we'll talk about him on Thursday. I got pictures standing next to him. I'm a little flabbergasted at that as well. So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I gotta get my game up somehow, stretch out some. Yes, she says it's good to see Sam. Sam was with me as well. My wife, the lady in my life, my whole life. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Today we're talking about exposure. Um, and what that means as far as your life, um, to make it better, to grow. So this is kind of a part one of it because definitely going to dig into it more going in tomorrow, Mental Health Wednesday. And this conversation is kind of has been inspired by a wonderful, pretty well put together documentary of someone who may have more documentaries than many people that are well known. I think more maybe even Martin Luther King. I think so. This man has been documentaryized. Yes, that's a word. Today's word is documentaryized plenty of times. And that's Tupac. Tupac Shakur. I know. Another one? Yes. And this one centers or starts off uh, kind of around his relationship with his mother, kind of growing up. A lot of backstory. So just as a warning, because I realize we all kind of think the same when you're watching something and you see like a good title, and the first thought goes in your mind, is this a movie or is this episodic? Am I about to get pulled into something that I'm gonna have to watch several of them to finish? Uh, yes, this is episodic. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 4 episodes. Um, so I've watched two, waiting for the others to come out. So if you're like, I do binging, don't binge it, don't watch it yet because it's still current. um, just warnings, you might see posts about things you didn't know about Tupac Shakur. It's interesting. It's interesting. And the I'll say the craziest part is, which isn't, you can just Google, it's directed and executively produced by, make sure I get the brothers right, the Hudlin brothers. And that's a weird statement only because if you know the history of, well, I'll say the public history of Pac and the Hudlin brothers, I think only one got it. The one I don't think was available at the time. Um, Tupac was going to be on Menace to Society, and the public story knows, because oh man, you find out what really happened. The public story is Tupac was supposed to be on the Menace to Society, didn't get it, um, and he beat up, I think, Reginald Hudlin. He beat him up. That's the public story. it's more. All I'm gonna say, when you realize, it's like, oh, now I see why. Yeah, he kind of deserved it, and where it came from. So it gets into that. So that when I saw it, I was like, wow, the Highlands are directing this. And what I didn't realize, Googleable answer find out as well, is the fact that the Hudlin brothers did his videos, so they had a relationship. Um, but today I kind of want to talk about exposure. You know, what it means, what life means when you're exposed to different things and exposed to different facets of life, and how when your mind is opened up to different opportunities and seeing life outside your box. Because let's keep it 100. um, Once you get out of one space, you're always into a new space. You ever realize that? Like, yeah, let's think outside the box. Yeah, you might think outside of that box. You just out of in an outer box, and you're just thinking a little differently. So let me put this up, because I know I always notice that people will come in and out when they don't know what we're talking about and not sure how long to hang out with us. I notice the numbers go up and come down, go up. Like, what are we talking about? Let's see. Exposure changes you. Let's do that. Changes you. And put some exclamation. Nah, we just do the periods. Changes you. And how exposure has changed you. Um, the things that you were into, or you thought you knew, and how getting exposed to new information, new spaces. And I think about that with Tupac in a way, like he was, I don't know, his life was kind of set up to a little different. Like, he got exposed to some arts, he got exposed to some great things, but because of his neighborhood, he had to learn how to survive in certain environments. Um, but he was very intelligent. It's just he learned how to bring that intelligence and package it in a way to try to further us along. Um, and I think about the things that we're exposed to that brings you out of rough situations or certain situations, and positions you to win better. What's up, Jeff? Good morning. Good morning. Um, so I think about, like, my life and some of the things that I've learned in the course of my life, where I got exposed to new information. Because there are certain ways I thought, certain people live a certain way because either they choose to, they just this is what they want. But you realize it's people live a certain way because of lack of exposure, or new information's introduced, but it's hard to believe that information when your circle doesn't represent what you're learning, if that makes sense. And they call it cognitive dissonance, separating yourself from truth. Um, and it can be challenging. It can be challenging, and um, I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because we miss so much in life when we don't, with use the term, broaden our horizons, connect ourselves to things that allow us to think a little differently. Um, I watch a lot of documentaries. I read books on business. I read books on people's lives and things of that nature. And some of the common threads or some of the factors when it comes to people that are, were living a certain life and now are successful was all connected to exposure. It's all about exposure. It's all about being at the right place at the right time and asking the right questions. Um, it's not enough just to be in a network of those that are successful. It's more of opening yourself to ask the questions that will unlock the answers that are inside of you, if that makes sense. Um, and our ability to be transparent enough to receive that kind of exposure can be life changing. And a lot of it, of course, deals with the monetary aspect, but also socially. You know, um, how do we open ourselves up to think more broad, um, to see life from a different perspective, to see something different in order to pull ourselves out. Because can I keep it real? Can we have that a real conversation today? And I'm not the only one. I bet you if I go into search, you've put it in at a time or two. Uh, you know, how to be successful online, how to how to make money online. We, don't lie, we've all done it. See, even Jeff. And Jeff talks about fine. He's pretty stable. He's blown it, but he's got some cushion. But even he's like how to make money online. So it's exposure, you know, is everything, right? So you're trying to find the secret, the secrets. So the secrets. If you put that, I'll admit it. I put it the secrets to making money online. The secrets of the wealthy, the secret habits of multi. Now it's billionaires, right? We got a lot of millionaires now, so we're all in the billions now. Secret life of billion. Next year is gonna be trillionaires. The secret life of billionaires. And I, like I've seen posts like they will put, would you want $1 million or 10 minutes with Warren Buffett? And I had to sit and think about that, right? What would I ask Warren Buffett in order to what listen, why does Siri just pull up on my watch? How to get rich. I guess an interview with Warren Buffett. Oh, right. Oh yeah, no, Jeff. There you go, Jeff. The unknown secrets. The unknown secrets. Not just the secret, but y'all don't know this one. This is the secret nobody else knows. So would it be, like he could tell me some moves he's making, but can I really capitalize on those levels of moves? Can I really do anything about the information that he gives me? You know, um, is that, what are you investing in? Yeah, I might make a few bucks, a little bit of dividend, but really understanding uh, what success is and how to build something. It's not just because we always hear the term, your circle, being in the room. Um, I think you have to be positioned mentally to be in the right rooms. You know, it's one thing to be on a fly on the wall in spaces where great decisions are happening. You know, I'll run tell that, come on here, like boom. Let me tell you, I was in the room with folks I can't tell you about, and this is what was discussed, and for views and growth, and boom, I'm exposing some things, but in my position to really capitalize on information shared, am I really positioned to capitalize on certain levels of exposure? Um, and I think, and I'm kind of going in a roundabout way of how exposure changes you. Um, there are certain levels of it. Like, you know, I'm gonna keep it real. Like the Warren Buffetts and the Charles Munger, that's his partner, and those of that nature. Just jumping into that room, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting the conversations had, the things discussed, and me like, okay, God, what's the best question I can ask to get the to position myself in the best way, you know. Um, but certain rooms you may not be ready for. Do you understand what I'm saying? And some of us are looking for the Warren Buffett when keeping 100, they need to be around the Jeff Carlin to give them the simple information. you know, that I've been around here a long time. I've seen a lot of money. These are some of the things. These are some of the tips I can give you. Like they just need a little exposure, certain levels of it. It's kind of like a sun. Drop a little analogy on it. Kind of like the sun. Sometimes you need a little bit of heat. Sometimes you need a lot of it. But too much when you're not ready could burn you. It could be too much exposure, overwhelming, to the point of I can't do this. This is not. Oh, I'm never gonna be that. Um, let's see. Jeff says, my past success was always tied to others giving the opportunity to me. They open. Right. I'm gonna let that marinate. I'm gonna let that marinate because honestly, like, yeah, there's absolutely nobody that I doubt you can name that hasn't had a door open for them. Absolutely nobody that anyone can name that hasn't had a door open for them, or for them to go to the next level. Even those that build online businesses like YouTube, they've gotten exposure. Each one of them, even when they got to like the 100,000 level, 100,000 users coming on doing their thing, somebody stepped in their circle and say, if you want to go from here to 1 million, you have to do this. This is what it has to look like. This is take you. There's a guy. His name is JT. Finance with JT. Black guy, glasses, just in case you're running, like trying to figure out what he looks like. Pretty good information. He is a licensed financial planner. Like he's legit. He ain't just a YouTuber. He's legit. He just got on to kind of show information, and he went from, zero, because he talked about it. It's like, man, 5 years ago, he was like, I barely had 100 people watching. That's right. One man, one mic. I got this. Thank you, babe. Good morning. And he started off by himself. Started off just financial information and advice, and certain people started seeing him. He's now, I think he's at 100K. I think he's reached 100K. But he spoke about around 10K, even I think 20K. He got with another guy and, signed up for a class, paid, of course. And this guy showed him things to do to take him to the next level, how to format, what he should bring on, how he should shift. And now he's at 100K. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, exposure changes you, but there's always someone that's going to open the door for that exposure to expand. And I say all that to give you two folds of it. Some rooms you're not ready for, and some opportunities are taking you to just be positioned and meeting the right person. So keeping it 100, like even with this broadcast, like I'm not like looking for an Oprah moment. I'm not looking to just get there waiting for somebody. I've gotten out of that some time ago, like years ago. Like, so I do this to hopefully just people like Jeff and Lisa and Mama Corey and Sam, just to share, just say, hey, these brothers are talking some great stuff. Come watch them. And it's just going to open doors, and prayerfully, I have the content that is engaging enough that people will come and not only watch, but want to be a part. Let's see. Jeff says, you can always ask people who are successful you can always ask people who are successful who in their life gave their biggest break. Right. They will always come up with the name. They'll tell you what they did. Right. To date, there's nobody that hasn't had a break. Here's the one thing I will say: work ethic caused them to know. Right. Now that's a big one. Right. It's funny. Hard work will get you noticed, but it won't necessarily just make you successful. Hard work will get you noticed, but it won't necessarily just make you successful. And it's funny because I'm watching YouTube, you know, and someone was speaking, over while they were showing, if hard work made you successful, ditch diggers will be wealthy. People out there on those farms picking fruit and vegetables would be wealthy because some folks are like the hardest workers I've ever seen, and the worst part is like I know I work less and I still make more, and it's like, man, you deserve so much more. It said, Mama Chris said, we love every minute of you. Appreciate you. Hard work in the right environment, right, will make you well. Definitely, 100%. There's always, unfortunately, and probably fortunately, someone has to co-sign on your hard work, because like Jeff was probably brought into a room and, oh, this gentleman, Jeff, this is his sales. He's killing the game. I co-sign on the work he does. Just one word. You've been busting your hump forever. Everybody's seeing what I'm doing. You just needed somebody with that level of respect or namesake in the business or industry to co-sign on what you're doing. And it's crazy. He said, I was working at the largest volume Ford dealership on the West Coast. Not just not just some little pot lot. Right. So you had access and you were in a space of exposure. You was in a space to not only get exposed to great folks, millionaires, the real top-notch Ford, dealers and sellers. You were in a space to be seen by these people. And you were. And so hard work is you just got to position yourself. And what can I show you guys today? What can I tell you today? One, never be afraid to just connect. Never be afraid to have a conversation with people. The same hard work in the wrong place wouldn't have afforded me the same success. Right. That's true. Busting your hump, making these sales, and like you said, the little pot lot, right? We'll be making the owner money, but he necessarily he wouldn't know how to pull you up and position you in the right space because 9 times out of 10, he was trying to get stable with his lot, whereas an established huge lot has a lot of eyes on it and a lot of people that already are wealthy. They're just like, who can we use in here to continue, helping us become wealthy? Because that's all it is. It's like, this dude Jeff is busting his hump. Let's see what we can do. Who is he? Where is he from? So it definitely matters. It definitely matters. Like I said, there's nobody, even Zuckerberg, cannot say they've had that someone didn't open the door for them. Because I had found out Mark Zuckerberg he learned programming from uh, one of the top programmers. I think they were at Atari or Nintendo. Yeah, he had exposure. Bill Gates' family had money. Like, I mean, like these, there was Bill Gates started in his garage humbly. Like, yeah, he had access. He wasn't necessarily like a poor pauper and just made it happen. It kind of had access. You know, I watched the movie Founder with Ray Kroc, one of the founder of the franchise founder for McDonald's. He didn't start McDonald's, but he franchised it. Um, great movie, great movie. But his door opener was meeting the McDonald brothers, and McDonald brothers door opening kind of was meeting Ray Kroc, who was very energetic, ready to make this thing happen because he had been struggling selling milkshake makers, struggling. And they had based on the movie, of course, there's always so much more in the timeline. Based on the movie, they needed 4 or 5 milkshake makers. This dude was struggling to sell one to places. And he was like, what? What are you doing that nobody else is doing? And exposure to their system and how they did things and worked out contracts, good, bad, and ugly. It's a rough movie. It's good though. It's good. You learn a lot, um, especially about McDonald's. But that exposure, man, that exposure. Who opens the door? Who you sit down with? Who you around? If anything, I can tell you, just hone in on your craft and just be positioned. And I'm not saying wait, because you're still gonna garner success on your own, one at a time, one person at a time, one customer at a time, one view at a time. Um, but there comes a moment where, I always say keep your, the term keep your head on the swivel, keep your eyes open, because there's always someone that can be able to help you go to the next level. It may be a class, maybe something you have to pay for. Some things that mentors aren't going to just come to you like, I see you doing the work, I'm going to mentor you. Just stay by me and I will show you everything. Not always going to happen that way. It's going to be some sweat equity or some financial equity that's going to cost you to go to the next level, as you would say. But be open for exposure. If you feel like you're kind of stuck in a space, stuck in a box, open yourself up for exposure. Find a meeting. There's this meetup. It might be like-minded people just need to be around, because some people will discuss ideas or things that they are exposed to, but they may not be ready for, and you're positioned to capitalize on it. So you never know who you might meet. Uh, Open yourself up to network, but network in a way where it's a give and take. Don't always look for someone to be your come up. Don't always look for someone to be the thing that's going to help you. Be a help to somebody else. Even if they're at a higher level, you may be able to assist in something like, hey, I noticed you doing such and such in your marketing. Can I offer some suggestions? You never know how the relationship will pan out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, be open to help, be open to serve. Don't sit waiting for someone to drop the $1 million in your hand. Connect with those and where the $1 million may be, and help them get to it, because you never know what kind of relationship long term that you may build. So open your mind, open your heart, and don't get stuck, man. Don't get stuck. I think I spent a lot of years being stuck a lot, a lot of years, and not moving out of that comfortable space, because we get very, very complacent. They said it's a great point, AD. I never focused on promotion, never. I always focused on doing a good job where I was at and being help to my boy. Definitely. Just helping. Have a servant's mentality. I'm just here to serve, just here to help. Because you never know what opportunity may open up. Just do the right thing. Like just do the right thing. But yeah, just be willing to assist, be willing to um put yourself in a space where, how could I help this company? How could I help this person get better at whatever they're doing? You know, whatever skills or gifts you have, even online, when you see it, like, maybe I can help. And because sometimes people ain't ready for help. Like, let me just say that you may have, like, oh, you know what? I was just thinking I could take this person to the next level. Just let me help them, but they may not be ready for it. They may not be ready for it. Probably was a real key for me now. He said, servant mentality probably was a real key for me now that I think about. Yeah, I'm just here to serve, just here to help. I'm just here to help. If it's a job, y'all got me for 8 hours. I'm gonna give you all I got for these 8 hours. 8. You need me to stay later? We'll talk about it. 8 hours. I'm gonna give you all I got. I'm gonna give you everything I got. I give it all. You know, and just do your thing. Stop giving the bare minimum. Stop giving the bare minimum. Stop giving the bare minimum to your spaces. I know, maybe a little frustrated, annoyed, and pushed. Sometimes you gotta push further and stop giving the bare minimum. And then sometimes you just gotta go. Like, don't be any place that you're miserable. Don't be in a place that you're miserable. Don't be any place that you're miserable. If you feel like you just can't, then don't. But if it works, and it's not just about the miserable, if it's hard work, because there's space. I've worked some jobs that just like, oh, this job is hard. That's what I'm not talking about. Like, you could do it. Just press through. I know it's tough. It's tough. I used to have to do maintenance. I talk about this this galvanizing steel plant, and of course it was open. It was in North Carolina. North Carolina, just like Georgia, kind of most days it's just hot, and you have to painting the whole. It's like constantly over just painting because the steel and the vapors are eroding, so it's constantly painting for protection. But before you paint, you got to chip. So of course you don't. It's a factory. You don't chip with a chipper. You use it's like this jackhammer thing, and just all day, all day, and this in the rafters of this warehouse that's open, and I tell you, there's these like butterflies that look like Mothra's babies. If you never see Mothra and Godzilla, butterflies is just like huge. I don't even think they're butterflies. They're probably moths. I don't even know what they were. They were the biggest, butterfliest looking things I had ever seen. If we had phones back then, boy, I tell you, I'd show you some pictures. I would show you some pictures. But yeah, and it was hard work. I came every day. It was hard. And I probably said this, but I came every day, and literally, my boss told me. He said, "I would fire you, but it looks like you're really trying." I suck. He said, "I would fire you, but it looks like you are really, really trying." And I said, "I am." I said, "I'm giving my 110 at this. I just can't. It's just not me. It's just not." Because he asked me, like, what was some of the stuff industry? I was like, I do retail and sales, man. I'm an inside dude. I told him, I said, that office, that's me. Here, Yeah, it's a struggle. But and I did it for a while, but I ended up quitting. I was like, for his sake and mine, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and bow out. This is officially not what I do. And oh man, Jeff, you said 13 years. Said I was an iron worker welder for 13 years. He said, dude, I swear I hated the first week. But you got that paycheck. It's like, I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna tough it out. Oh man, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah. So like I said, like the jobs that are just hard, like and listen, and let me keep it 100. Let's keep it 100 moment. Did like me and the steel thing, I could have tried to force myself and be there for like years, but I had to recognize that that was not my thing. And you know, now if you that dude that don't or lady that's looking at me, if you are a person that jump from job to job, don't use that excuse. Just don't use me. AD said it's your eighth job this year. Like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't stop trying to find a reason not to go to work. But some things just ain't for you. Some things just you get it. I've had jobs. I got into it. I've even had a retail job that I was just like, it was over my head. I was like, I can't do this. This is the level of stress and the level of what they were requiring, the expectations. It's what I put on the resume. I didn't lie. I just fudged. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't. And he was like, wow, how did you like that up so badly? You was jacking it up and you made it 13 years. Shout out to you, Jeff. Shout out to you, Jeff. That must have been like that good check. You just like, man, this check is good. Gosh, I hate that job. He said, now here's the really important lesson that I learned. All right, staying at a job that I hated for 13 years taught me how to be tough at my car business job, unlike anybody else that was around me. For me, that right then became easy peasy because every time he said, "Man, you lied." I ain't lying, fudged it a little bit. Oh. But yeah, yo, that's real. That's real, Jeff. That's real because people don't when you have not worked a really challenging or difficult job, when you do something like car selling, you just like, this ain't nothing. He just fussed you out. I'm good, Chief. I work worse. That's the thing. When I worked at Costco, I started working at Costco doing like cart pushing. They are paying 15 to 16 to push carts. 15 to 16 to push carts. And it'd be cold, it'd be hot. And I literally like my first, probably about my third week, a supervisor came back from vacation, literally came outside and said, I needed to meet you. I need to see you. I was like, what's up? It was like, you are like the hardest working cart pusher out here. I was like, if you only knew the jobs I've had and to literally get this pay, that I was literally a stressed out manager making the same money doing this. doing and all you want me to do is push carts. I was like, this is nothing. Like nothing. I've had to help bricklayers. I've had to be in, like I said, the rafters. Like, you just want to push these carts around? This ain't nothing. Nothing. And I was like, yeah, so I'm with you, Jeff. Once you had really and I think about even younger people sometimes, and I get it. Like these young people, they can't. I was like, because they haven't had a hard job yet. That's all. They just haven't had a hard job. They don't know what a hard, challenging, difficult job is. They have no idea. They don't know how easy they have it. So it's hard, right? Listen, they're skipping. Literally, like I'm light jogs, hustling. Oh shoot, let me like literally because I had been out of work how long? Maybe like 4 months, 3 months, 4 months. I was like, yes, let's go. Like let's go. Oh, I had a goal too. I was like, I'm not gonna be out here forever because there was some dude that been out there years. I was like, I'm not gonna be out here forever. I was like, no way, no how, not happening. I was like, it's cool, I'll do it, but I'm getting in there. I'm getting back in that building. This is outside. It's not it. You can see it, right? Just get these cars. Let's make this thing happen and get in this building. Let's give ourselves like good 4 months and something gonna come up. We're gonna get in this building. And sure enough, about 4 or 5 months, yeah, I was in the building. Um, what up, Kadeem? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, did I hit it? Nope. I thought I did. Now we did. What up, Kadeem? Good morning, sir. Uh-oh. It's Black. Start. Think I lost him. Oh, right. Like, yeah, get that first paycheck. Like, all right, we good. Let's make this thing happen. So yeah, honestly, that's what I really feel about some folks when they don't either don't appreciate a position or they don't, like you said, Jeff, you got folks around you, and let me say, I don't think I read it from my podcast. Where you said guys were complaining all around me, and I was wondering what the world guys complaining about. This is heaven. Like you in an air conditioned building. You go outside for a little bit. You talking about cars? Like what? You just trying to sell some folks a car? Like what? What is? And you bugging out. You tripping? I'll show you a real job. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see if he's is he set? It looks like he's frozen. He in the backwoods of Georgia again. Let's see. Nope, still frozen. Kadeem. Oh, maybe it'll come up. But yeah, it was I think experience, exposure, really understanding what you're dealing with. Cartwheels are smoking because you're jogging so fast, right? But yeah, like that exposure as well. Like when you've been exposed to something, gotta can even roll. Oh, when you've been exposed to certain things, how it changes you. People in tougher situations, when things get better, they appreciate it. Like, man, I've been in harder. I've worked harder for less. Um, but that exposure can change you. Just don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to connect with other people. Don't be afraid to listen. Had I listened, that's a book. Had I listened, because I've missed so many opportunities not listening. Had I listened, uh, and people in certain situations, there's always, I feel like, I don't know, can anyone really say no one said anything to me about certain things, whatever he was doing or wherever he was at? No one said anything, you know, if he was on the street or in a space or, getting into trouble, no one said anything or talked about a different way. Um, Even my life, I told people I came middle class and learning some things, and people tried to, advise me on making certain moves, and I'm like, psh. Somebody was talking to me about a opportunity, and they lost me when they said, and I'm 20, what was that, 18, 19? And they said in 10 years. Once they said in 10 years, it just became womp 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 womp. Womp 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 womp. Money here. Womp 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 womp. Because it seemed eons away. Like, nah, I need a 10-month plan. I'll do a 10-month plan. So yeah, it's definitely um exposure, listening, even now, man, even now, you gotta open your ears. You gotta open your ears. And listen, what I do get is when someone's trying to tell you something and they're in the same space. They're in the same space. And they're like, yo, I learned such and such. and they're working to apply it. They're working to make it happen. Um, and you never know, like you may be able to fast track the information that they give you. Just listen a little bit, write it down, marinate on it, and you can decide like, is that for me? That's not for me. Um, but just yeah, open your minds. Allow yourselves to be exposed to different things. Even as far as when you flip it through Netflix, you see something interesting. May not be the most entertaining, but it may be the most informational, and it may teach you something. Even YouTube, always suggestions. As I speak right now, you about to get a whole bunch of suggestions about networking and money. I'm gonna mess up your whole YouTube algorithm right now because of what I'm talking about, and you're watching me. YouTube hears this. That's why they got captions. They hear every word I'm saying. YouTube, money, networking, listening, motivation. You about to get some ET on your timeline. He said, yeah. He said, you mentioned air conditioning dude. He said, leaning over a 2,000-degree weld with smoke rising up thick in your face, wearing a jacket with a hard hat, a respirator, safety glasses, earplugs, steel toe, uncomfortable. Yes, steel toes are very uncomfortable. Uncomfortable boots in 100-degree weather. Get about it, right? Forget about it, right? They don't understand. They don't understand. They don't understand. You never know until you work hard. Like I've listen. I want my children's first couple of jobs to be rough. One is going. I want them to go work at McDonald's. I need them to go work somewhere where it can be challenging. Because then everything, one, you appreciate it. Two, you operate differently. Like, man, it's nothing. that's that's what I want. Early, 1920. Oh, this it? Nothing. Nothing. Even if it got to be my dad used to make us. This is nothing. I'd much rather be here. He said, now I gotta do is talk to people and laugh all day and sell them cars that they already wanted. They want a car. I just gotta figure out which car we're gonna get. Heck yeah. Make 3 times as much money on top. Right. You don't understand. Exposure not only changes you, exposure helps you appreciate spaces that you're in. Oh man, this ain't nothing. I've had it worse. Especially those that've had it worse. The had it worse story is like, this ain't nothing. This ain't stress. I'll show you stress. That's why I feel like honestly, people that come from spaces like Mexico or come from spaces where it's really challenging. I'll say it that way. Really challenging. If their life was really, really challenging somewhere in another country, they come here, man, what we got, man, this is first world problems. You good. He said, that's why I couldn't understand all these dummies around me complaining they didn't come from the right. They didn't come from the pits of hell. Right. Right. You just don't understand. You don't understand. All right. So I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me, hanging with me all this time. My number stayed pretty stable. Make sure you share. Listen, I need everybody watching. If you appreciate and like what we're doing, I need you to share. Just share. That's all. Just share. Got some great stuff coming up. I got a farmer that I'm trying to get on here to talk about being a Black farmer and some of the struggles and the victories and things happening in his space, and what we need to know. So definitely share. I got another guy that's in the insurance space. I got a gentleman who's like a stroke survivor and has a message to us men about health and things of that nature. So we got some great folks coming down the pike. We're growing, we're building. So stay connected. Text LW into 84576. Text LW into 84576. Thank you, Mama Corey. Appreciate that. Jeff, yes. Okay, we'll do like Jeff. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. And Lisa, she always says she shares. I know Mama Corey does as well. So I appreciate you. First time here, just say what's up. Welcome. I do. I love to. Yeah, he has an amazing story, and actually, like some signs, like stuff he was ignoring. And, guys, we gotta, don't ignore it. If it's persisting for a while, I don't even want to give a time on it because, if you're having something that's weird happening, yeah, and unfortunately, I hate the hospital. I hate emergency room, especially if you ever had the pleasure, of going to the emergency room, you know, especially in certain states. I'm assuming some may be quicker, but here in Georgia, and I'm not in Atlanta. It's hours. It's hours a lot of times, and but you at least want to be in the space. If it gets worse, they have the facility and able to handle. If you fall out or something, they can do something immediately. He said, "Yeah, man, I want to know if I'm on the edge right or not right." I said, if he says the first sign is you're losing, I would just roll over. I can't. All right. So we appreciate you guys for being here, hanging out with us and connecting. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on Mental Health Wednesday. We'll see if Matt Genius can come through. If not, we're going to dig into this even further. All right. Bill in the building. Thank you for hanging with us. Rewind it, watch it, see if you love us, stay connected. If you're part of, if you have the YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up. It helps with our algorithm. All right, so we look forward to seeing you guys. We'll see you in the morning. Stay safe, make good choices. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. 988. If you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis, dial 988. And I think that may be it. Let me check my last comment. All right. Oh, Thailand in the building. Good morning, sir. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe. Peace out.